Hi, thanks for joining us. My name's Allison Wagert, and I'm one of the newer employees here at SPI Supplies and Structure Probe Incorporated. This segment is devoted to the history and story of SPI Supplies, and who better to start that with than with the president and founder of the company, Dr. Charles Garber.
Hi Allison, thank you for inviting me and spending this time with me, but first call me Chuck. Everyone all over the world that knows me calls me Chuck.
Okay, Chuck. I understand that you have a background in polymer physics.
Yes, that's correct. My Ph.D. is in polymer physics, and that was at Case Institute in Cleveland many, many years ago.
Is it true that most people in that tend to stay within the range of academia?
Yes, virtually all of my classmates all took university jobs, or if they went into industry, they were in very, very large industrial companies. I was different. I ended up starting my own business.
How did that happen?
Well, I spent a few years at DuPont. Some people would call it a postdoc. I actually thought that I would go into academia. I had the experience of teaching in Philadelphia at night as an adjunct professor, and I loved teaching. But after a few years, I began to realize the only way I would find the happiness I was looking for was to start my own framework, my own company. And that way I could do the things I wanted to do on the terms that I wanted to do them on. That's how it happened.
So you literally just walked out of your job and started a brand new one.
You're right. They were in shock. They couldn't believe it. And this was the middle of a recession in 1970, in fact. So I left the security of having a paycheck that had a DuPont oval on it to having a paycheck that said Structure Probe on it, which was not quite the same thing. But it was my own. It was my own business, and I was able to start developing the business according to my own vision, my own ideas, my own business plan, and it was very exciting in those days.
And from its inception, was the company selling products?
No, the original business of the company was as an independent laboratory, providing a laboratory analytical service. In other words, we bought one of the original, first SEMs commercially imported into the United States. And we started doing a laboratory service, literally selling time on the SEM for clients that were generally in industry that did not have an SEM at that time, but could see how information from the scanning electron microscope would be very valuable for their own work and research.
In your own business in the early days, there must have been surprises in store for you. What were some of them?
Well, there were a number of them, but I guess the one that stands out most in my mind was that in order to bring in clients for a laboratory analytical services business, you had to spend a lot of money advertising. And the amount of money that you had to spend was so much that would chew up any profit that you might have made. So we were working hard, we had business, we weren't making any money. That's not a good thing. So that was when I started to look for how I could expand the business into other areas that might be more profitable than the laboratory services business. And that was really one of the reasons why we ended up getting into SPI Supplies and becoming a manufacturer.
And over the past 36 years, I'm sure a lot has changed.
Oh, you're right. In fact, it's been a total flip-flop, because in those early days, we were essentially a laboratory service, and we were selling a small number of products. Today, we are essentially a product company, and the laboratory services business is still there, but it's not a major part of the business.
Explanation for how we continue to grow, we continue to thrive in the face of all this competition.
Well, yes, we certainly have lots of competition. Of course, all businesses have competition today. But in our case, we're not just a manufacturer and distributor of products. We also have the laboratory services, and there's a synergy between the two parts of the business. On the one hand, having our own laboratory that uses the products that we sell to customers means that we have a keen insight into how we can make them better. And at the same time also, we have clients coming to us with the very latest cutting edge kinds of research problems, and it gives us an insight into what researchers all over the world, what will be mainstream tomorrow, so that we can start to develop products that will be applicable for those kinds of problems and have a solution already on the market when many other people start getting involved in that new kind of an area.
Would you like to speak on standards for microanalysis and the silicon nitride membrane window grids?
Well, you're touching on the two areas of our business that are growing the fastest. The silicon nitride membrane window grids represent the first advance in TEM grids in over 50 years. Because up until recently, the grids that were being used today were the same grids that were used 50 years ago. But with silicon nitride membrane window grids, people working in nanotechnology, carbon nanotubes, nanoparticles, there's just nothing like them. And they are, in fact, becoming almost mainstream in many laboratories. There's also a very major push worldwide for microscopy laboratories to come under some kind of an ISO registration. That might be as part of an ISO 9000 registration or just a laboratory that wants to be accredited. In any case, such laboratories must have standards on site so they can continually assess the level of operation of their microscope's performance. And since all SEMs have EDS systems, or at least most SEMs do, this means that they all will need standards for microanalysis. And the standards that are made by SPI are best known in the world, and we have the largest market share of anyone that manufactures standards. And it is a very rapidly growing part of our business as well.
I do get the impression from speaking with you that we've been the innovators, we've been first in a lot of regards. How is it that we were able to foresee the future so well?
Well, I guess the main reason is that both I as well as most of our senior management team has maintained close ties with academia. So I know from my own personal standpoint, in the early 1990s I became aware of the internet before most other people did. And we started to communicate as a company by email when very few other people were communicating that way. And then at the same time, when the internet really started to catch hold, that's when I saw that, this is ridiculous that we would be cutting down forests of trees to print hard copy catalogs, because we could give all this information to our customers so much better and in a completely green way if we did it through a website on the internet. So we in fact did do that, and we were so early in doing it that people actually laughed at us. I don't think people are laughing at us today, but they did laugh at us then.
And over the years, what would you say in this industry has made you the proudest?
I'd say my employees, or I'd say our employees here. We have a management team of people that have been with me. All of them have been with me at least 25 years, and some more than 30 years. And together, we are doing just some amazing things in terms of new product development, in terms of the way we serve our customers, the whole website project, the fact that people all over the world use the SPI website as a #1 reference resource for microscopy products. All this makes me very proud.
Now, on a more personal note, what do you see as your plans for the future?
Well, the one thing that is not in my future is the R word, retirement. I know many of my friends much younger than I am have in fact done that. And I have to say that for those that have done it, and there have been no health issues involved, I feel a little bit sorry for them, because this suggests to me that maybe they really weren't so passionately involved in what they were doing when they were working. But in my case, I love doing what I'm working. I love getting onto an airplane and flying off to visit scientists on the other side of the world and setting up trade show exhibit booths and meeting our customers from all over and all disciplines, and being in the center of all this exciting research work that involves microscopy.
Question. Without disclosing too much, can you speak on the research and development that's going on currently here?
Yes, so we have a number of things going on involving new product development, new manufacturing methodology, but probably the most exciting is the work we're doing on live cell imaging that involve the use of our silicon nitride wet cells, so that cells can be imaged live using backscatter electron imaging and an SEM. The best results coming from the use of the Robinson backscatter electron detector.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. It's been enlightening.
Well, thank you very much, Allison.